I really expect to keep these two race cars in the same condition that they all ride down. If there's any loss of control of the car or anything, your day's done. Pink car was f***ing flying. Right, he couldn't keep it on the racetrack.
And it just went.
We brought sim racers in from all over the world, and we just have one question. Can they actually drive a real race car? The Moradness M Squad is a community race team that I started 2 years ago. We have drivers from all over the world, and we brought them over here because they've been helping us all season long prepare for the GT4 races. Bryce Ward and Winward Racing gave these guys the opportunity of a lifetime and is gonna put these sim racers in a real GT4 car to see if they can translate what they know in the sim to the real world.
I think the GT4 is going to be very hard to drive at first, since I have never drove a car under that type of power.
It's something that honestly has been a dream for forever. And put in a lot of time in the sim with the boys, and just having something like this be like a possibility has been awesome. So looking forward to it.
We've had Dan talk a lot about, the similarities, and obviously I'm going to trust Dan's opinion. He's experienced, very well in the sim as well as the race car.
My rig has a really, really stiff brake, like most sim racing rigs. So I think that's going to be a huge difference, is the feel of the brake, because I know like the throw of a normal car, and even in the GT4, the throw of the brake is probably 3 or 4 times as long as what my sim rig is.
The sim definitely helps a lot, but I think for most people, they can't quantify the way the car actually feels and the holy shit factor of almost crashing, or how the car feels with their body and the G-force. I don't know. I don't know how sim racing is preparing for this, because I've never driven a race car. I hope it prepares me as far as reference points and kind of understanding the muscle memory of turning in and, handling a car, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, real nice. They're not Winward fans, I guess.
It's mainly just excitement.
We're in Houston, just leaving the hotel. This is the morning of probably the best day of a lot of people's lives, driving a race car for the first time. Going from sim racing to real racing, it's gonna be crazy. I can't wait.
We're going to start out with, getting seat checks, gear checks, and then doing a lead follow for 2 laps each. So out, 2 laps in, swap everybody out, and that's pretty much going to take up the full morning session. Have lunch, then we have an afternoon session. We're going to do kind of the same thing, and then have everybody go run the cars on your own.
I've been waiting a long time for this. Finally getting my chance in the car. You guys know how to operate steering wheels. Up, down, on the gears. Neutral button, it won't go into neutral unless you actually push the button. So once you can't actually engage it when you're rolling, you need to be under it's under like 10 kilometers an hour, then you can engage the neutral, but you have to put clutch in. So clutch down, neutral, and then you can sit.
I want to know what it's like for you, like first time in the car sitting here.
Look, this is ridiculous. It is. I haven't stopped smiling for I don't know how many days, but to be here now, it's like, this is awesome, because I truly do love motorsports, and to be in the car and set up, comfortable, it's like, yep, yeah, this feels like home.
How does your single monitor setup look right now?
I mean, honestly, I've got so much more field of view. It's weird past this point, We haven't seen anything past this point in the entire 3 years on iRacing.
Yeah, trying to get it to the Miata, and this feels good.
And so are you comparing this to a Miata right now?
Yes. This only compares.
You're fired. Ow. We're driving the GT63. We're going to take the guys out on track, give them some cider laps just to show them the layout. And it's a bit wet right now, so we're going to try to dry it up, and then we're going to rip it.
All right, so I'm gonna shake this car down. It's just freshly put back together.
This is the perfect example of racing. I mean, the pink car was fucking flying, but he couldn't keep it on the racetrack. You know what I mean? Ended up dead last.
It was so slow of a spin. I was just like, how? He spun at 10 miles an hour. It was like out of the first chicane. He just like, I think he touched the curb. It was so slow.
Yeah.
It was a skill issue. Adam just touched the curb. It's dropped the wheel off on the exit of the chicane, did a little spin, and now we have to slow clap. Yep. Moment of silence, just for acknowledging skill issue.
You can't keep up with a pro driver, I guess.
While through driving?
You know, you can't came in at that little carousel, and you just went on it, and I was like, yeah, I could do that too, and it just went, and it just kept going. So, yeah, lost a little bit. Just went.
Yeah, it was the slowest slide I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. So congratulations.
Honestly, that was one of the best experiences of my life.
So you like me or what?
You're okay. You're not too bad, you know.
It was so much fun, dude. I have no actual words for it.
You hit the gas and it just went.
You hear everyone say how responsive a race car is, but I mean, it's the way it just digs, and I mean, it's insane how much traction the car actually has. Do you find that like driving the sim is helping you for this?
Oh my God, 100%. Like if I didn't have the sim racing experience, then I would try to jump in that car. It'd be, oh my God, no. But like within the first laps, I felt, all right, I'm starting to find where the limits are.
It felt really close to how it felt in iRacing coming out of the turns where that like rear end just kind of wants to kick just a smidge, and I'm like, oh God.
I guess in sim, you feel like you use a lot less steering input than you use in real life. So you're like really a lot of steering angle to get the car rotated in the slower speed corners. But beyond that, it feels kind of one-to-one in a sense.
Yeah. You got to brake so much harder. Yeah, I mean, I broke way for the 300 up here, and if there wasn't runoff, I'd been in the grass for sure.
The one thing that's missing from the sim is like the feel of the turn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You work the wheel.
Yeah, and like here, I just felt like you turn it, and it was like wanting to turn.
Yeah. After reviewing the footage, I can now answer the question, can these sim racers drive a real race car? The short answer is yes. They can drive the car. From the sim directly into the race car, these guys look so comfortable, as if they've been doing it before. And you could really see that the sim helped these guys transition into a real race car. In terms of speed, the closest driver was about 5.5 seconds off of my benchmark time, but on a 6 or 7 lap sample, which is what most of the guys got, you can't expect much more than that. At the end of the day, they were there for an experience just to get used to the car and see what it felt like. And the biggest takeaway for me was actually how far off their equipment was tuned to actually how it felt in the real race car. They said that the braking felt way different, a lot more travel, a lot more control and feeling in the brake, but also the steering wheel, how much more feedback there actually was. Now they're gonna take that information back to their simulator and hopefully get it dialed in. And you guys can do the exact same thing with our playlist that actually helps you dial in your sim rig to make it feel exactly like the real race car. This was such an amazing experience, and I cannot wait to do this again.